Hey guys, welcome back to User Experience Points. This week we're looking at Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes. I picked this game up when it was on sale for $6 because I had heard rumors that it wasn't quite worth its original $30 price tag. However, this game features a level of polish that is way beyond anything I've seen in recent big releases, and that includes its UX design. If anything, it's kind of the opposite of buyer's remorse. I wish I'd paid more for it. For that reason, I'm going to get the one really negative thing out of the way first. See, the Metal Gear series is known for exceedingly long, but really well-crafted cutscenes. These are an utter joy to watch and make you wonder why Hideo Kojima didn't pursue a career in filmmaking, but the experience is negatively affected by the fact that you can't pause these scenes, or skip them, or really do anything but sit there and watch them. For a game that features cutscenes so prominently, this is a jarring exclusion. Sorry Snake, Sora's got you beat here. Okay, let's talk about good stuff. Ground Zeroes has the best loading screen. I know I probably shouldn't be so excited about this, but it's amazing to finally see the complete version of what was attempted in both Shadow of Mordor and Dragon Age Inquisition. See, both of those games featured content for you to experience while the game is loading. Shadow of Mordor had audio flashbacks you could listen to and required a button prompt for you to continue into the game so you wouldn't miss anything. But there's no way to access and listen to these flashbacks again. Dragon Age Inquisition had a ton of interesting content on its loading screens, but you never had enough time to read it all. These concepts are executed perfectly in Ground Zeroes. Not only does the game wait on your button press to start the mission once it's done loading, but it also allows you to endlessly page through every piece of content that could ever appear on the loading screen. I'm not going to say every game needs this, but if you want reading content on loading screens to be a pleasant experience for your users, this is your masterclass. Next, let's talk about Snake's iDroid, a wonderful example of diegetic design. Diegetic design is the process of designing fictional interfaces. In video games, this means the design not only exists in a fictional world, but has to be usable. So when you're completing gameplay assisting tasks like looking at your map or calling in a chopper for rescue, you're playing as a character interacting with an interface as opposed to just interacting with a menu outside of gameplay. This is the pinnacle of what you can achieve with UI design in video games. The iDroid is not only easy to use, but it's also perfectly integrated into the Metal Gear world. It feels like a part of it. Every task you can complete with it is something Snake would actually have to do, like reviewing your mission objectives or walking around while viewing the map. The map itself is divided into two distinct use cases. You can get a full view of the map for setting markers and toggling the compass, or you can switch over to a smaller view that you can still have open while you're walking around. This is basically just a more elegant execution of the traditional big map screen and minimap during gameplay that most games have. But the way they're integrated into the game's world makes all the difference here. I should also mention that the iDroid makes great use of the PlayStation 4's touchpad. Most games I've seen have just written it off as a replacement for the back or select button from previous generation controllers. But Ground Zeroes makes use of the fact that you can map multiple functions to different parts of the touchpad depending on where you press. Pressing the right side of the touchpad opens up the iDroid. Pressing the left side opens up the next menu we're going to talk about. The pause menu is your standard list-style menu, but it's one of the best executions of its kind. First of all, I have to praise any video game that has descriptions for its menus. Lots of video games use esoteric terms that need to be explained to the user very clearly. One section I didn't expect to get descriptions is the control settings. Each button layout features an explanation of what kind of player it was designed for. I also have to praise the yellow text that's used to represent which controls change between layouts, since a lot of them feature similar button mappings. Though the scrolling text on certain controls is distracting and completely unnecessary. The rest of the menus have a pretty good consistent set of controls. On the top right you get a representation of the controller's touchpad so you know how to unpause the game, and a shortcut to the E manual. Each of the menus also features the same OK, Cancel, and Default buttons at the bottom of the list. While the consistency is nice because the user always knows how to properly commit any changes they make, I don't see why these couldn't have been mapped to the circle, square, and X buttons and then put on the top right. That way the user doesn't have to scroll to the bottom of a list of options just to commit their changes. Simplicity and consistency are good, but you should always consider other buttons on the controller if they can make simple tasks more efficient. And that about covers it. Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please take the time to subscribe and maybe check out some of the other episodes if this is interesting to you. Also, if you want to learn more about diegetic design, check out some of the links that I've put in the description. And with that, I'll see you all next week.